Halloween Horror Nights 2025 officially starts next month, so we have a lot to go over today. We are back at Universal Studios Florida to go over the multi-night tickets that just dropped, another house announcement, and there's brand new merch, so we're gonna go inside and check it all out.
And believe it or not, next month, the medallion is gonna be hung. We're gonna have all the house banners out here in front of the arches. It's crazy to think that next month is Halloween Horror Nights, but here we are. So last week there weren't any major announcements because it was the 4th of July weekend. The week prior to that was Spooky Week, and they gave us all of the original houses. Now this week we're back to IPs again. So they announced one more today, and then there's just one more to go. So the next house that was announced today is Terrifier. The Terrifier isn't clowning around. Try your luck against Art the Clown in the Terrifier Funhouse. You'll witness his grotesque handiwork of torture and be exposed to the spatter of his victims. It's a whole new level of gore. And then it also says, nothing can prepare you for this grisly haunted house based on all 3 of Damien Leone's Terrifier films. Try your luck against the sadistic Art the Clown in his twisted funhouse. Witness Art's gleefully grotesque handiwork of torture. You'll be left literally dripping with terror and drenched with fear. Now we're of course gonna talk about Terrifier and the multi-night tickets, but we're also gonna give some construction updates along the way. So let's see what's going on over here in Hollywood. Nothing too major versus the last time we were here. They did add a couple of smaller pieces of truss over at the front. So this is gonna be like the front entrance to the scare zone. They have a piece of truss over here and then another one right over there. And then the last time we were here, we talked a lot about the lighting. It looks like there's been even more that's been added since the last time we're here. Like I don't remember these ones that are kind of hanging down over there, and then there's more in front of the 5 and dime. So the lighting package over here, like we said last time, is gonna be really, really good. And then right over here, directly in front of Studio Styles, there's another piece of truss that has popped up in the last week. Just like any new announcement comes merchandise. So over here at the 5 and dime, they have the merchandise reveal for Terrifier. Let's go see what they have. All right, so when you first come into the 5 and dime, just like where all the new merch goes, they have the display right in the front. And you can see they switched this out. This used to have the Jason Universe artwork in there. Now it has Damien Leone's Terrifier. Look at Art the Clown.
And they have the little sticker that goes with the collectible right here. The main one, I think, keeps selling out, but they keep restocking it. This you buy separately and you put them in like the little stained glass windows. We have 2 more, right?
2 more, yeah. Well, one's gonna be Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, right.
And then the other one is rumored to be WWE, but we'll see if that is true. And then these little stickers are $8. And then here's a look at the Terrifier shirt. It is a ringer tee, which I'm not the biggest fan of the ringer tees. This is $35. The artwork is pretty cool, and then the blood that's like splattered on his face has like a texture to it, so you can actually feel it.
It kind of reminds me of the Vecna shirt.
Yeah.
Remember? How it was kind of like 3D like that? Yeah,
exactly. And then it says Damien Leone's Terrifier down on the bottom, and then nowhere on the shirt other than over here in the back, it doesn't say Halloween Horror Nights anywhere. Usually it'll say it like on the sleeve.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I think there was other properties in the past that were set up like this. I think maybe The Weeknd. It didn't say Halloween Horror Nights anywhere on it, but there's the shirt, $35. And then also for $35, they have this like string bag. It's almost like a drawstring bag, but it's almost made of like a canvas material, like a reusable tote. And then the backside has a little zipper, which is pretty neat actually. It's not just a regular bag where you put stuff in the top. You could put like your keys and whatever else you're carrying around with you in the back. But yeah, nothing else other than the shirt and the bag right now. Now this is just announcement merch. There will definitely be more once the event actually starts. There's only one large shirt. Everything else is extra small, small, or like double or triple XL. So the shirts are going quick, but don't worry, they'll probably restock them at some point if your size runs out. They did for the Jason ones. If you missed out on the Jason shirt after those officially sold out, at least over here at the 5 and dime, they have basically every size from what I can see. So the Jason shirts have been restocked. Outside of Mel's, they have another one of those little tiny short trusses. Now this area is rumored to be getting like some sort of an overlay with roller skaters and things like that. So it makes sense that we got some trussing over here. Also in front of Mel's, they've added some lights to the top of the truss there.
It's all coming together.
This one's pretty big. And they have more lights too on the little light pole right over there. Interested to see what this area is actually going to be.
So they announced Terrifier, which I know a lot of people are excited about. It is definitely a well-loved movie. It is not one that I will ever see, so I am not that excited for it, just because I know this is going to be one of the houses that I won't be going in this year.
Oh, no.
Number one, I hate clowns. Number two, it is extremely gory, and that is just not the type of scary movie that I like. I don't like the gore and the guts and blood and all of that, so I don't think I will be going in this house. So for all Terrifier reviews, please refer to Matt this year, because I'm sure he will go in the house. He too won't see the movie, but I'm sure you'll go in the house, right?
So I've never seen any of the Terrifier films. Maybe I'll watch like the first one, just so I kind of have a sense of what's going on. But from what I've heard, like the second one and the third one are extremely gory. That's just not really my thing. I know it's really popular and people were like asking for Terrifier for the last couple of years. So if you're an HHN fan that wanted to see this franchise, Universal definitely delivered for you. This is going to be a very, very popular house. Every year when we come to HHN, since those movies have come out, we've seen people with Art the Clown shirts and at conventions and things like that. So a lot of people are going to be showing up for Terrifier, that's for sure. On top of Five Nights at Freddy's and Fallout and Jason. So this year's IP list is really, really rich, and there kind of is something for everybody. Terrifier is not really my thing, but it will definitely be a popular one, there's no doubt. Something I saw today about Terrifier, so Ramon is the show director and writer for the Terrifier Haunted House. He's also the one who led the Spooky Empire panel. He's also the show director for El Artista, and he posted this on Instagram talking about the house. Said, honored to have worked as the show director and writer for the Terrifier Haunted House at Halloween Horror Nights 34. Collaborating with Damien Leone to build upon the gruesome world of Art the Clown has been a dream for everyone involved. I'm grateful for everyone that came together to make this experience the blood-soaked thrill ride that it is. No punches were pulled, no corners were cut. Prepare to witness the goriest experience in Halloween Horror Nights history. So you'll be getting wet in this house. It says bring your poncho, so definitely expect some like water or like blood effects in this one. It's gonna be cool to see what they pull off, and Ramon is awesome. He's definitely a big rising star on the Universal creative team. I'm excited to see what he does with El Artista, and then I'm excited to see what he does with Terrifier, even though I don't really know much about the franchise. Not much going on that's new outside of what I'm calling the HHN bar, which is over here by Mel's. It looks like they poured some new concrete, but as far as HHN stuff, not a whole lot. Well, I take that back, because we found, I think, the biggest piece of truss that we've seen so far. Holy cow, this thing is massive. This is in that same area over by the HHN bar was last year. They have this huge piece of truss, no lighting or anything on it, but you can see how big it is. Wonder what they're gonna use this for. Now, we mentioned this in our previous video about how there's a very high likelihood a Lagoon show is coming back for Halloween Horror Nights, and they have the fountains kind of running right now. It's not really in sync with any of the music, but I've never really seen these fountains on during the daytime. There's somebody out there right now doing something. Is this for HHN? Are we like witnessing programming or something going on? Okay, it is insanely hot. It's like 90 something degrees out. So we came to one of the only places we can find shade. We're over here in Sting Alley, and we're gonna go over what the multi-night tickets are, what the options are for 2025, what the costs are. Now, there were a lot of rumors about Express Pass not being a part of the multi-night ticket options this year. That was all not true. Express Pass was available. I say was because a couple of the options sold out already, which is kind of hard to believe. They sold out within the first hour. So let's go through the rundown of all the multi-night ticket options for this year. So starting off with the Rush of Fear Pass, which is September only and allows you to visit the first 18 event nights. That is $199.99 plus tax, and the express option for that raised the price up to $689.99 plus tax. The next level up is the Frequent Fear Pass, which allows entry to 30 nights of the event. Now, this pass does exclude most Fridays and Saturdays, and this one was $250 plus tax. And then if you wanted express on that, it was $840 plus tax. Next is the Frequent Fear Plus Pass, which is entry to 40 nights, and you do get Fridays, however, it excludes most Saturdays. This was $300 plus tax, and if you added express to that, the ticket jumped to $950 plus tax. Then if you're HHN's biggest fan and you want to go every single night, they have the Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass, which gets you into every single night, and it's $420 plus tax. And then Express is $1,200 plus tax. Like anything else, the ticket price is gonna go up every year. the Rush of Fear Pass and the standard frequent fear and all the levels went up a little bit versus 2025. We saw the biggest price jumps on the Express side. Some of the Express prices were just crazy. But if you are somebody who comes very, very often, multiple nights a week for the entire event, if you divide out the cost of your entry ticket plus Express based on the number of days that you're planning to go to HHN, that's how you should determine whether or not the value is good. Of course, if you look at it and you just look at the number, it's gonna be sticker shock. But say you're buying a frequent fear pass and you want Express on that, that gets you into 30 event nights. If you know you're coming at least like 15 times, it's probably worth it. And the cost wouldn't be that crazy per visit. So break it down that way. But yeah, the rumors were that there was gonna be no Express. Last year, a lot of them sold out almost immediately. It was the same exact thing this year. As I'm recording this, I just hopped on the Universal app to see what they still had available, and it hasn't updated since 12:44. But as of 12:44 p.m., Frequent Fear with Express was sold out, Frequent Fear Plus with Express was sold out, and the Ultimate Frequent Fear with Express was sold out. So the only Express option, as of the recording of this video right now, by the time you're watching it, it might already be gone, is the Rush of Fear Pass. That's the only one that's left if you want to pass with Express.
So we decided to go with the Frequent Fear Pass. They did still have the Express passes available when we bought ours, but we decided against it just because it would have been over $1,600 for the both of us. It's definitely worth the price. We had it last year and we loved it, especially since I was pregnant, didn't want to wait in long lines. But because this year we have the baby, we didn't know how often we would use it. So we did just get the Frequent Fear without Express this year.
Yeah, and on top of that, we are going to be doing Premium Scream Night this year, which is, pretty expensive as it is, and that gets you like basically unlimited entry into the houses just because the crowd levels are so light. So didn't really make sense for us to do the Express option this year because we're doing Premium Scream. So that'll be our Express night. So over here in New York, not a whole lot new in terms of construction updates. However, they have added some new lighting on the roof lines that I've noticed versus our last visit. So a lot of lighting elements being added literally every single day. So the immersion, I think, is going to be there. They keep talking about immersion and how you're really going to feel it throughout the park, and based on these lights, looks like that might be the case. Just a heads up, if you're a fan of the Blues Brothers and you're coming here soon, it looks like the Blues Brothers stage is under refurbishment. Passing through San Francisco now. Looks like we still have the same 2 trusses that are over here. They have the one that we just passed that they were using for the Jaws stuff. Then they have this one over here, but doesn't look like they've added any lights or anything to it just yet. Over here in front of King's Cross Station, this truss has been here, but they've ran all the wires and we got some lights. Back by the sprung tents, not noticing a ton new, just definitely some work that's been done on the facade over here. You can kind of see it looks like a house right over there. So it's coming along. Can't see much else right now, but I'm sure as the weeks go on, we'll get more updates. Something that's been a staple of HHN at Universal Studios for the last couple of years has been the Death Eaters. They used to be over at Islands of Adventure. They've since moved them here to studios for HHN, and they're gonna be back this year. We have some construction updates over here in Diagon Alley. So on the backside of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, you have the stage, which has been used in years past for the Death Eaters. You can see the little step for them to get up there, and then they have like cool smoke effects. Green smoke comes out from over there, but they've added a bunch of the crates, some of the ropes. Very cool. So Death Eaters officially coming back. So here's another prop for the Death Eaters, and to the average person this may just look like a box with some like fruit and wine on it, but they use these to hide either speakers or fog machines. So underneath there, I'm assuming it'll be fog because it's low to the ground, but they'll have fog that comes out, and this is all part of the Death Eater show. Universal's got just under 2 months, like a month and a half, to get these bathrooms all complete. Otherwise, this is gonna be a total disaster come HHN. But I'm assuming this will all be done and these construction walls will be down. But for now, we're gonna head back towards Nightmare Fuel.
So they still have a few more things that they officially have to announce, including the shows. Nightmare Fuel is the rumor that it is coming back. The Lagoon Show, the Scare Zones, one more house, and anything else?
Oh, then they have to say that Five Nights at Freddy's is definitely a house.
Right. So
you have to get a proper...
technically, I guess 2 more houses, the shows, the Scare Zones, and is that it?
That's it.
I think so, yeah. This breeze feels so good right now. Oh my gosh, wearing black was a wrong choice in the middle of Florida summer, but there's a nice breeze coming through, so I'm just gonna stand here and take it in.
Just like that.
Just like this.
Waiting for HHN to start.
Waiting specifically for Nightmare Fuel.
And while we're over here, just want to talk about what the last rumored IP is going to be for HHN. So it is going to be WWE. A lot of news outlets have already reported that Universal and WWE have a partnership for Halloween Horror Nights. A couple of very reliable and reputable wrestling blogs and websites, things that I personally follow. If you don't know, I am a huge professional wrestling fan, big WWE fan. So I am one of the people that is very excited that WWE is going to come to Halloween Horror Nights. So unless something falls through last minute, sometimes those things do happen. Expect a WWE HHN house announcement probably next week. If not, maybe they take another week off just because there's not much left to announce. But I'm assuming it's going to be next week. So yeah, WWE coming to HHN. Now what I'm going to do before the event starts, once we get the synopsis of the house and we kind of know what the gist of it's going to be, I'm going to put out a video kind of diving into the lore behind some of the characters that are probably going to be featured in this house. Predominantly Bray Wyatt, the Wyatt Six, I don't know, maybe The Undertaker. So if you're not a wrestling fan, I'm going to do a full breakdown on like what you need to know going into that house, because the Wyatts especially have a really cool backstory, a lot of awesome lore, and it would make for a really good HHN house. So expect that announcement most likely next week, but we'll just have to wait and see. Either way, it's like a 99% chance that WWE is coming. This is the scare zone that has like the least amount of things going on. No truss, no lights. I don't even really see like any speakers in the ground yet or anything like that. So it's pretty quiet over here. Not much to report on. Walking over to Islands of Adventure now, and we haven't walked this way since they've started construction on Rip Ride Rocket. It's pretty narrow, but luckily not too many people here right now, but these construction walls come out pretty deep. And we've made it into Islands of Adventure. It's been a minute since we've been here.
You want some buffalo chicken tots?
Every time we walk past this, we're like, we're gonna try it one day.
I know. I don't think today's the day, but we have to try it.
So we came over here for a couple of things, actually. First, we wanna see the How to Train Your Dragon overlay, because that's been out for a couple weeks now, but we haven't been to Islands in a little while. The last few times we've only gone to Universal Studios, so I want to check that out. And then we also want to stop in the All Hallows Eve boutique, see if they have anything going on for the summer. So over in the Lost Continent, as you walk under the arch over here, they have this How to Train Your Dragon live action overlay. You can see the dragon up top. They got the sign. So over here at this little merch stand is where all the How to Train Your Dragon live action merchandise is, and they did this cool little overlay. Check out this sign. It says, "Welcome to Dragon Training." Then it has 3 different dragons over here. Obviously this is Toothless, that's the Night Fury. But yeah, let's go in and see what they have. We're not gonna run through all the merchandise that's here. We actually did a whole video about all of the How to Train Your Dragon merch that they have over at Isle of Burke. And I'm assuming a lot of this is gonna be very similar. I'll leave that video up in the corner if you wanna check it out. But they got the Toothless popcorn bucket. Oh, check this out. This is brand new. I think this just came out like within the last week or two. The Toothless Lego. That's awesome.
There's a really cool Toothless photo op right across from the gift shop that we were just showing you. You can actually sit on his back and ride him. So Matt's gonna input a picture of me right now.
Here it is, the Toothless photo spot. Official dragon riders this way. Follow the path behind the clouds to meet Toothless. And there she goes, meeting Toothless. There you go. Awesome. But then over here, just next to the kebab place, they have some props. See some costumes, some shields. I wonder if these are like screen used or if they're replicas. Here's Astrid's axe. Oh yeah, it's a replica. It says replica as featured in the live action How to Train Your Dragon. Still really cool though. And then it's a little bit hard to see because of the glare, but inside they have Astrid's costume from the film. Again, a replica. And then you got Hiccup's costume right over there. And then back behind it, they have like Hiccup's workstation. You could see Toothless's wing right there. They have a bunch of like drawings and stuff over here. They're playing a little promotional material for the movie with some of the actors. And then here's a replica of the Book of Dragons. I'm gonna pop inside the All Hallows Eve boutique. This is another place on days of HHN announcements where they drop merch. So not gonna be anything new, but I'm curious like if they have any type of overlays or anything going on for the summer. Here's all the Terrifier merch that we saw over at the Five and Dime. So over here they have plenty of like the little stained glass displays. They didn't have any over at the Five and Dime, and there's plenty of them here. So if you're looking for it, I would check here first. So like I showed you, they had plenty of the stained glass displays, and even the ones that they had out were not in plastic. So I brought mine over to the register, and the team member was like, oh, I can give you one that's all wrapped up. So I was able to get that. And then they had all of the little vinyl pieces. I think the other one's still in the bag, but they had obviously Art the Clown that came out today. They had Jason, and they had Fallout. So they're fully stocked over here at the boutique at Island. All right, so that's gonna do it for today's HHN update. A lot of big news, multi-night tickets, Terrifier announcement. We're still waiting on WWE, fingers crossed. I know there's gonna be some people watching this video that are like, I don't want WWE to come to HHN, it doesn't belong, but I want it.
Yes,
So-
and they still have to announce the shows, the scare zones. There are a few more announcements that are going to be dropped within the next few weeks. I just can't believe that we are like a month and a half away from HHN season.
It's crazy.
Right after 4th of July becomes spooky season here in Orlando. So
Yeah, that's how it is.
It is beginning.
It is almost here. So as always, if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, make sure you give it a nice big thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so you don't miss out on all of our HHN updates. We're gonna be doing one a week from here on out until the start of the event. And then once the event starts, we're gonna have a lot of things to cover. Premium screen, we're gonna be giving you all the best tips and tricks, all the things that we usually do. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you real soon.